An otherworldly and magical landscape, sculpted by nature over millennia.
People started carving their houses inside these, and we have some hidden treasures, we could say.
Held within the shadows are ancient secrets, undiscovered for thousands of years.
I came here like an Indiana Jones. We always try to understand what happened here.
Enchanting stories.
Ciao!
This is the old Anatolian way as it was for thousands of years. I liked it.
Story keepers who stepped off the beaten path to uncover the hidden treasures of Cappadocia, Turkey.
I still want to discover what's hidden. When I was a kid, I was seeing the balloons. I love adrenaline, I love having fun, I love being outdoors. And being outdoors in Cappadocia is already something.
Check it up.
And I just kind of grew up, wanted to be in the air somehow. This is probably one of the best ways of doing it. With an aircraft without any steering. Some adrenaline.
Excited?
Yes.
Great, me too.
To say Vural Demircioglu is a thrill seeker is putting it mildly. It's not only what Vural does, but where he does it, surrounded by, arguably, one of the most jaw-dropping vistas on Earth. This is the Nevşehir province of Cappadocia, a region in central Turkey where human civilizations date back thousands and thousands of years.
We will just keep changing our altitude during the whole flight and try to find the best wind current possible.
That wind Vural relies on, along with millions of years of rain and snow, have carved the volcanic rock here into a dramatic landscape.
Maybe I can show you Love Valley down there. Love Valley has a bit more humor because the shapes of the rocks are very funny. We have some hidden treasures, we could say. We have a type of rock which we call tufa. Tufa is really, really soft. It's very easy to carve. The nature itself shaped the rocks, and people started carving their houses inside these. We can see all these caves easily now, but they were all well hidden. It really is wild and unique.
For an adrenaline junkie, there's no better way to experience these ancient historical wonders than to get up close and personal.
Most of the people now coming here to the area for taking photos for Instagram or social media, but you can actually go in there and you can actually feel and see Cappadocia way better from inside the valleys. And it's, trust me, very, very fun. Hot air ballooning is just one way of discovering Cappadocia. I love riding my motorcycle around the fairy chimneys, around the rock formations, in the valleys. Even if we have ridden through those roads many times, we still enjoy it. We even have an international club. We are in Devrent Valley, also known as Imagination Valley. We call this area Imagination Valley, obviously, because of the shapes of the rocks. You can actually see one right behind me, which looks like a camel. That may be a snail. It kind of looks like a snail to me now. So it really depends your imagination. You cannot really find anywhere else like this when I'm flying or riding. I really feel like there are more things to see in the valleys. I still want to discover what's hidden.
A surreal wonderland as far as the eye can see. This is the heart of Cappadocia, Turkey, where peculiar rock formations, known as fairy chimneys, dominate the view, and where narrow passageways, chiseled into those rocks, might just open up to something spectacular. The famous dark church in the town of Göreme dates back about 1,000 years. It's part of a complex of medieval monasteries, now an open-air museum and UNESCO heritage site. But for centuries, important traces of human history across this region lay unknown. Off the beaten path from Göreme is one of Cappadocia's best-kept secrets.
Byzantine, 9th century. Here, refectory, dining room and school. School missionary long time ago.
Cabir Coşkun is the sole caretaker here. What's now known as Keşlik Monastery sits tucked into the rock formations on his family's land. A natural playground for Cabir as a child.
Tarihi pek farkında değil.
I wasn't even that aware of history. A kid's job is play and fun.
Here another church, San Stephanos name, 9th century Byzantine church. Here all design, geometrical, zaman zaman çok seyrek de olsa.
From time to time, though rarely like 1 in 1,000, some tourists would come here by chance. They would stop thinking there are some interesting structures here they would come to see and discover. We'd run up and show them the church. They would understand some of the paintings.
Çok şaşırmıştım ya.
I was very surprised. What a beautiful decoration. When is it from? I was asking many questions.
Tomatoes.
The mystery of what remained undiscovered here goes back generations.
Kısmet buyurun. 1935'te devlet burayı açık
In
aldı.
the year 1935, the state decided to sell this place in an auction. The auction was as a garden, and no one knew the historic importance. My grandfather had many children, and because people loved him, they said, Keşlik is on sale. He has many kids, so this garden would be beneficial. That's how my grandfather bought the place in 1935.
Decades later, what Cabir and his family uncovered turned out to be an expansive rock-carved monastery complex with 2 churches, a refectory hall, a winery, a holy spring, and dozens of cave homes.
This is one room, one big room for sleeping. Here one room, fireplace.
In the Byzantine era, from the 4th to the 15th centuries, Cappadocia was a center for monastic life. Isolation was easy in the rugged geography.
Long time ago in monastery dangerous. People coming here close to door here. Here ayazma, holy water for baptism. Emekli oldum ama.
I retired and I had started working on this place in 2001. I believed this place needed more serious publicity and tried to be in dialogue with everyone who came here, like art historians, professors, archaeologists.
A lifetime of curiosity, decades of research and restoration have led to one of Cabir's proudest preservations on the property.
Church name Archangel Michael, 13th century here. Frescoes Annunciation, visitation, presentation to temple, crucifixion Christ here.
Years of study allow Jabir to identify the frescoes blurred and blackened by soot.
Önemli bir sorumluluk.
It's an important responsibility because this is entrusted to us. Our religion takes safekeeping very seriously. This is a responsibility that we must carry, and it is what we owe.
Guest book for visitor book 21 years ago starting at 12 book, maybe 10,000 people for the book. Artık hazinelerimizi saklamıyoruz.
We no longer hide our treasures. They see the daylight. We have revealed them.
Daha ömrümüz nereye kadar?
However long my life or strength lasts, it's an honor and source of joy for us to keep contributing.
A hypnotic entry into the southwestern corner of Cappadocia. Removed from city centers, the lush Ihlara Valley engages the senses in an entirely different way. Here, in this remote gorge, some of the earliest Christians carved thousands of cave dwellings. But they weren't the first civilizations to occupy the fertile volcanic land of Aksaray province, or leave vestiges of their ancient traditions.
So here, nearly every farmer in the high plain of Anatolia has a garden with grapes. We want to have as much as possible place for rare ones.
White wine grapes. Name is Hasan Dede.
And they probably are here since grapes are here.
This is very small. It is very, very traditional.
We have very special grapes because in general they are unknown.
Udo Hirsch and Hajar Özkaya are on a mission to save Turkey's lost grapes and revive an ancient tradition in Cappadocia. To understand how the partners found themselves here, we have to start here in the town of Güzelyurt, and in a house that called to Udo.
I came here 13 years ago. I just was thinking to have a very nice calm place to write my stories because I was working 45 years for WWF, traveling extensively, and so I have a lot of stories and a lot of experiences I can talk about, and it's nice to put it down. The house has different levels and it goes up to 200 years old or even a little bit older. The lower part goes probably up to the Hittite time.
A centuries-old house that came with some quirky period accents.
You have here a method to close the door. You can do like that. And then it's not so easy to come in. Then there's another way. You have there a place to escape. Go to the kitchen and then you can escape to the valley.
There was another feature, though, of particular interest to this German conservationist.
We looked in the cellar and I saw this little winery which is there, and I had friends which were all wine producers. So well, let's make wine. I mean, why not? Part of our nature conservation work is to try to get people involved in nature conservation.
And when Udo met Hajar, they realized they had similar passions.
Ben de seramikçiyim.
I am a ceramicist and have worked in Anatolia for many years. So local authorities invited me with the goal to see whether we can create a job opportunity for one family to start a workshop.
Udo bir gün bana dedi ki,
Udo told me one day, I want to leave something for this country so that it remains after me. And I want to do a project for protecting Anatolia's local grapes.
I like this one.
It's a little bit cloudy.
Wow, Udo çok güzel.
This part of the wine production she likes very much. This is the old Anatolian way of making wine. I always had in mind What did a normal villager do in Anatolia 2000 years ago? How he would do his grapes and his wines. So I learned more about cups. The name cup is an Indo-European word. It comes from cup or clay pots.
It is 2000 years old. 2000? Yeah. Little bit violet colors. There is red wine inside. Ooh. Ciao.
But old coupes come with all the hallmarks of age. So using her ceramics background, Hacer set about the task of restoring the ancient amphoras.
Siz beni küp...
You should see me when I'm cleaning a coupe, sterilizing it with heat. It's a very primitive look. I get all black and smoky.
Simsiyah olur, dumanlar çıkar.
Udo and Hacer are committed to reintroducing the world to this region's natural winemaking traditions. Their winery is even named after their town's ancient name, Gelveri.
Biz başladığımızda hani geleneksel.
Once we started, our goal was to make wine with traditional methods. We went to an international fair, and it was our first fair. I was a lone Turk there. It was such an incredible feeling.
Çok olağanüstü bir şeydi o. 80 milyonun sorumluluğu üzerinde.
The responsibility of 80 million. From then on I said, you have to do it so much better.
Çok daha iyisini yapmak gerekir.
And so, with ancient knowledge passed down through local villagers, Hacer and Udo hope to keep Cappadocian customs alive.
You see, these are the grapes of this country. I'm looking to Roman literature. There are books about agriculture, Anatolian agriculture from the Roman time. We have also literature from Byzantine time.
Geleneksel muşba
I
dediğimiz.
learned how to make and protect the traditional way of wines. I learned the real Anatolia from these people.
It's not a risk. You just take over what hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years other people have done.
Yeah.
This is not a risk.
Archaeology is this kind of a discovery, you know. Just imagine, every day you discover these new things, you know. It's very exciting.
Güneş Duru is looking for something. Clues to a major milestone in human history.
We are in Aşıklıhöyük, in very western part of the volcanic Cappadocia. Aşıklı is the earliest sedentary community in Central Anatolia.
In other words, one of the world's first villages. Aşıklıhöyük is a Neolithic settlement, a time when people started leaving the hunter-gatherer lifestyle and chose to start settling down.
This is 9,000 years ago. We try to understand a Neolithic way of living and daily life. Why that people, after a peaceful life, abandoned the site? What was the reason? You know, we are looking for individual stories of the people.
Güneş has been looking for those stories for more than 30 years now.
When I came first here, I was a student in university. I came here like an Indiana Jones, you know, because it was my role model because of these movies. But I learned, you know, archaeology is totally different.
Decades later, Güneş now co-directs the project here, a site that's giving scientists an ancient blueprint to important parts of human evolution.
These are the original buildings we found here. We have a very gradual continuity. They built in the same spot their houses, like on top. After 40 or 60 years, they collapsed the whole walls inside the building, and then they rebuilt new one on top.
Over and over.
Over and over. That's why we are now on the artificial mount. And Aşıklı is almost 17 meters high. In 1,000 years, they never stopped.
What Güneş and the team have uncovered is helping them reconstruct a bit of prehistoric past.
So we built this compound for the visitors, actually. because it's very difficult to understand. So Ashikli people spend their time, especially in the winter time, inside the houses. And roof level, also the entrance way of the house, you know, and also it's very good place for socializing. They can also step in one roof to the other, you know, they can reach any other part of the site. This site is very important for how we domesticated within the spaces.
The homes may divulge some of the narrative around Ashikli daily life, but they don't tell the whole story.
The community, they feast here. We have big heart, huge oven, and some also feast remains. Gradual change is a very good opportunity to understand the people, how they live together 1,000 years without any break.
Güneş likens himself to a crime scene detective, going over every centimeter of the site to piece together what happened here.
This is part of the loving archaeology, you know, this unknowing situation. You try to understand, you know. If you find something, okay, you are happy, but if you're not, you're waiting for the next time.
Decades into the excavation, the site is still giving over secrets, like evidence of a Neolithic brain operation on an Ashikli woman.
For some reason, they made an operation from behind her skull. She survived at least 2 weeks. This is probably the earliest evidence about the brain operation in the world. We are working on to understand more what really happened.
That story Güneş is searching for, the story of the Ashikli people, is not yet fully written.
I still have some questions, and Ashikli has really good answers. I mean, after 30 years, I still together with the dirt.
Mysteries buried in lush valleys, ancient traditions preserved in the shadow of a volcano, and discoveries inside those odd and unforgettable fairy chimneys. There are hidden treasures still to be uncovered in Cappadocia, Turkey.